Okay, well, the women right here again. Roaming Gnome. Today we did the Roman Destination Unknown Roaming Gnome thing, and we just went down basically what we call Paris Road to Hallsville, came back. I got a duffel bag, cans, we've got some miscellaneous scrap metal, a couple tools, a couple ran over cell phones as usual. Allen wrench set up. Went to the New World Recycling here in Columbia, and they require forms of ID. I've done business with the ones in Jefferson, and they never asked for that before, and I'm not allowed to show them ID for just turning in a small amount of miscellaneous metal off the side of the road. But they were very adamant about doing business with me unless I showed them my ID, and a lot of my family are exempt from that kind of stuff, so long story, you can look it up. But I asked him to present his ID if I present my ID, and he refused to show me his identification. So at that point we were at an impasse, and we didn't do any business. So what I did was I got my stuff, got back on the bike, and I went to the Civic Recycling Center, and they don't ask for ID. Just go in there, they're cool, and they'll hook you up. We made $8 today. $8 in a couple hours. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even think it's worth it. But we did clean the area up. We went down the road. We picked up what we could. We tried to contribute to the community. And basically, we're still making minimum wage. No, not this year's minimum wage, because it's based on, you got to remember, these are metals. Treasury, reserve notes or treasury notes are based on, well, treasure, which is alloys, metals. So the dollar amount, or the minimum wage, actually is only based on poundage of metals or alloys that are deposited in the treasury. So if the typical person can only accommodate or accumulate certain poundage of metals a day like we are, I think I had 22 pounds of aluminum. Okay, so that's what I got. And I only made $8. No, wait, 14 pounds. That's right, it was 14 pounds. What was I thinking? 14 pounds, and I only got $8. So the first thing I did, of course, was I went and bought, it's Miller time, as far as I'm concerned. I went and bought a 32-ounce, 36-ounce beer. And it's hot as hell out here, and it's humid in Missouri, and I'm having a hard time cooling off because it's humid, not because it's hot. But I recommend just go to Civic. They're cool. They might get, you might only get 50 to 53 cents a pound, whatever. Copper's $1.30, $1.36 right now. And that's pretty much it. They'll take everything else too, but they won't ask you for your ID unless it's over, I believe, a certain amount of like 50 pounds or whatever. So just do what I do. Just take 50 pounds in a day if you don't have any ID. Okay? If you're like my family, especially the traditional old school that were here before the 1865 Amendment 14 citizenship status ID thing and the Social Security Administration and all that crap, and we're grandfather claused into that, where we don't have to present that stuff. We don't have to present that stuff to do business because we're here before the citizenry got here. You know, you're like, well, hey, they ask you for a driver's license for identification. A driver's license is not identification. A driver's license is permission to drive. It's not ID. I just want to let y'all know that out there in YouTube land in case y'all ever have a problem with that. So y'all can look it up, 1865, Amendment 14. I believe it's 1865. And you can thank the Detroit, Michigan people for that one, okay? I believe that was who pushed that Amendment 14 deal. As much research as I could do. But the Federal Reserve notes that you get with the green little dot on there, that is for bronze. The blue ones, they have Federal Reserve note, it's blue, that's for silver. And the gold one, or the yellow one, is the oros, it's the gold one. And in the traditionally, see where I'm at, most people do business with, let's see. Yeah, if you look on your dollar, or your 5, you'll see this little green stamp right here. That's bronze. We call this a third place note. And then there's a blue one. That little dot right there will be blue, and then there's a gold one. So all these are based on the bronze or the value of copper alloy. So everybody who's griping about this is not the gold standard anymore, you're right. It's because you're using, see the green sticker? The green sticker is based on the value of bronze or copper, because copper is an alloy of bronze, supposedly. Okay? And if you're doing metals, you're supposed to get so much, $1 is so much in here. and they're not even doing that anymore. So even the value of the bronze currency is screwed up. So I thought I'd let you know that, but I didn't do business with Civic because he refused to show me his ID. I was like, if you want to see my ID, then identify yourself, and then we can get somewhere after that. Well, he refused to show his ID, so guess what I did? I said, well, we're at an impasse, and I tried to make friends with the guy, and he didn't want to do that. He was a butthead. I said, you know what, screw it. But the guys that the New World Recycling Center in Jefferson, they don't do that. So you could probably go there, and they were really cool, courteous, and cordial with me at that one. This one here in Columbia, Bonehead County is what I call it. It's Boone County, but I call it Bonehead because that's the way you pronounce it, because they're pirates. Get it? Bones. Their mascot is the pirates, Skull and Bones. Boneheads. That's what we call them here in Bone County. Anyway, with that, I'm Glenn Munro, the Roaming Gnome, and this was Destination Unknown. This is another little excerpt of us just traveling around miscellaneously, picking up the place, salvaging whatever's fallen on the side of the road, and turning it in if it has a name on it, and if it's been lost or left behind. But we did get 8 bronze notes, Federal Reserve notes. So even though I didn't turn in any bronze, so I was like, how can you give me that when I didn't turn any of that in? Anyway, but this is all based on depository metals in the depository. And this is a Federal Reserve note, which is a reserve note, and this just says that you have metal that you have deposited into the treasury, which is metal, treasure. So anyhow, you guys have problems with that. There's a little bit of a, couple crumbs off the table so you can figure out how the hell to use the money, which it's not called that. Money is the gold coin. These are notes. Money is actually the gold coin. Just letting you know. So anyway, y'all chew on that for a while, and thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later.